Hey, thank you. Yeah, so if you haven't yet had a chance to familiarize yourself with the back office, haven't had a chance to enter a guest order, set up a party, enter a hostess order, then hopefully this will be very useful to you and help you get through. You're going to find that it's pretty logical and simple, but like most logical and simple things, until you've done it once, it's not logical and simple. It's tough. So I'm assuming you all know how to log in to the Extranet. You do it through your replicated website or basically any takaraplus.com website. You click on the login button and two boxes appear, one for a customer to log in, the other for a consultant to log in. You log in by entering your consultant ID number. That number is on the welcome email that everybody gets. We give you a temporary password, which you once again get from that letter. So you enter that password or the permanent password if you've had a chance to set one up and log in. And basically what you'll see when you log in is the screen. I've clicked on, when I did this screenshot, I clicked on orders and a drop-down menu appears and I selected show ordering. Basically all your shows get created through the Extranet, and that's where you identify who will be the host as well as set up the details of the show. So this
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, Mike. It's Heather. Sorry to bust in, but we're not seeing anything on the screen. It's just a blank gray screen that says new meeting and organizer is Megan.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. There it is.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Got it.
Yep. Good.
Oh, great.
I'm going to mute
My
again.
apologies. Sorry? Yeah, everybody on mute. So just back, this is this login box that you get on the replicated website. It takes you to the Extranet, which looks like this. If you click on orders, drop-down menu appears, and you click on show ordering, and then this is the screen that appears. The first time through, you're going to be creating a new hostess. So you click on the Create New Hostess button, and this screen appears, and that's where you enter the details of the host, name and address. Now we use an email verification software called Address Complete. So as you start to type in the street address, you'll see appearing on the screen suggested email addresses. It's one of those things where the more you enter, the fewer the options. You just keep basically entering the address until only one option is there. In the address complete box, you select that address, and then the rest of the address, the zip code, will be completed. If you're using the billing address to ship the order, the hostess order, you can just click on the copy billing address box that I just highlighted, and everything will copy over. You enter the email address of the hostess, a phone number, and you select the language. If you want, you can put in their birthday and cell phone number as well. So very simple to set up the hostess information. The next step is entering the actual show information. So there's a little calendar that you can click on, or you can just manually enter the date of the show. You can put in a reference show number, but be aware this reference number is just for you. The system will automatically assign a show number to the show that you are creating. And then obviously you can enter the show time. If you are doing the show at the shipping address of the hostess, you don't need to re-enter it. You can just click copy shipping address, and that information will all populate. The next thing is really important, especially a number of other party plan companies. The first show that a consultant does, we call it a grand opening. I know some companies call it a starter show. In the Takara system, a starter show means something different. A starter show refers to a show where the consultant, instead of getting hostess rewards, is going to use the show sales to purchase the starter kit. That only happens 1 or 2% of the time. So pretty much every show you want to select no for the starter show option. Okay? So the show's set up. If you want to take a rest from doing that, you do click and continue later, or you click next to go ahead and start entering some customers. Okay? So if you click
Mike, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Mike, this is Chris Moyer. I have a quick question on the starter show. What if our hostess decides that she would like to become a rep before we close her show? Do we just change that to yes?
Exactly. Yeah, you go back to, I mean, every time you log in to the show ordering module, you have to select the hostess and the party that you set up. So all of that hostess information will reappear. You just change the no to a yes, and basically, if you've already entered all of the guest orders, you click see party summary, and it'll take you to the kind of the end of the process. And really, your only option then is to close the show, because the hostess isn't going to get any hostess rewards.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So
yes, thank
go
you.
back and change this at any time that you're entering the show. So we're on the entering or creating a new customer step.
Hey, Mike, I have one question.
Yeah.
Sorry, are we recording this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's all I want to know.
No problem. This screen is very, very similar to the screen we saw for creating the hostess. So we click on Create New Customer. We go to enter billing address. We copy it over to the shipping address. We enter email information, phone number, and the language. If you want to enter the custom fields, you can. Now there's one interesting box here, which is register customer as a future hostess. So let's say that Alcina, that's the name of this customer. She's agreed to hold a show in the future. When you click the register customer as a future hostess, then a box appears, or the screen extends down, and now you can enter the date, time of Alcina's show. You enter the where the show is going to take place, and once you click next, that booking is now recorded by the system, and you're going to see in a minute that on this next screen, so I've clicked next now, the hostess promotions. Before I click next, the hostess promotions would have shown one 75% off item. Every party that you use, start, and set up starts with one 75% off item. You use that for the hostess booking bonus. So someone at your party tonight has agreed to have a show in the future. They decided they want to order the booking bonus item. The question we get a lot is, well, how do I order that? Well, you order that by setting that future hostess up as a hostess, and you go straight to the end and enter the hostess order. And really the only thing you can enter with any sort of discount or value is the 175% off item. So that's how you enter a booking bonus. And then obviously you're going to need to set up that same person for a second party on the real date, and she will have a hostess order later. But because we just entered a booking, the hostess promotion has gone from 1 to 2. So for this customer, we have to decide who's paying for the order. So this particular case, Alcina is paying for it, so it's billed to customer. We're going to ship to Alcina, so this screen is good. We click continue, and now we're starting to get into the order entry process. I would say 99% of the time you're going to have a customer order form in front of you where the customer has written out the item number, name, and the quantity of a product that she wants. So the quick and easy way to enter that guest order is by using this box here. You just enter the product ID number. What you'll find is as you go through entering, if you enter the first couple of letters and maybe the first 2 or 3 numbers, this box will drop down. And then let's say there are 2 products that have that combination. Both would appear. You select the one you want, and it gets auto-completed. You add the quantity, and then you click on Add. This is far and away the easiest way to add products to an order. Let's say, and this will probably be most useful when you're entering an order for yourself as a consultant order. The screen is very similar. You may not really know what you want, but you can shop by clicking on these labels down the left-hand side. So, for instance, you click on necklaces, and what would display would be the necklace options, and you can select the one you want. But we know what the customer wants, so we enter it through the product number, an Add button, and after you add the first product, you see that this screen appears. It's really the order screen. So what I did, I kind of skipped ahead. I ordered, this customer wanted 2 Angeline necklaces, 2 Margie necklaces, and she chose the Betsy Peach freshwater pearl bracelet as a free gift. Some of the features of this box here, it defaults to standard shipping to the U.S. There is an option for 2-day air shipping. You would select it here. The other interesting thing is this box here, the note box. You could put in a personal thank you to the customer for her order. A lot of consultants do that. The other useful thing for this note box will be as you start to have parties during the holiday season, someone may turn around and say, this is going to be, this order, Alcina's order is really a gift for her sister. So I'm not going to give it to her until December 25th. So is there any way that the exchange policy can be extended and only start on December 25th? Well, if you type in this note box that this is a Christmas order, a Hanukkah order, Three Kings Day order, whatever you type in there, then if the customer calls in, says, I want to do an exchange, here's my order number, when the service people look at the order, they'll see this note, and they'll know that this order qualifies for an extended refund and exchange period. So this order is complete. The other box I point out up here, if the customer wants to round up to support breast cancer research, you check that box. The other thing that someone can do to support breast cancer, there are a couple of codes, one for $1 and another for $10. So, you know, if they wanted to make, say, a $10 donation, you'd enter in the product box up here, you know, the YY77777 code, quantity 1, click add, and now there'd be a $10 breast cancer donation. We don't very often use coupons, customer coupons. We'll go over this maybe towards the end in terms of how this works for consultants. But if for some reason, for instance, this customer had sent a product back for a repair and it was an old product, it couldn't be repaired, couldn't provide a new product of that same style, we would issue that customer with a coupon, and if she was redeeming that coupon tonight, you would click the coupon button, the box appears, you enter a coupon code, I think it's click process, and now the coupon value will be reflected on this order. So I think we've talked enough about this order. You click next, and then it takes you to the review and payment screen. If you suddenly remember you forgot to add the hostess, the customer free gift, you click edit, it will take you back through the various screens, you add the free gift, and click next, and you'll be back at this. So you can go back at any time up until you've paid for the order and edit the order. But let's assume that you are ready to pay. The order is correct. The one thing I'd like to point out before we actually go to the payment screen is up here. You can now see that Alcina's order of $336 now appears in the show total box, and the system is saying how much hostess credit Alcina has, and because we only have the one booking so far, it still shows 2 75% off items. So if you're ready to pay, you click the payment button, and a make payment screen appears. This billing info box at the top is a drop-down box. If this customer gave you cash, then you accepted cash, or you accepted a check, then you're going to have to select distributor billing information to pay for the order. If the customer gave you the credit card information, you would select on this drop-down box customer billing information. So in this case, Alcina gave the consultant cash, let's say, so she's charging it to the credit card. You know, the default pay amount would be the amount that's on the order. The consultant's using credit card, it's Visa. You know, the credit card number is in the system and all the rest of it. So we don't really have any problems here. One feature you can use, let's say the customer wants actually to put her order on 2 separate credit cards. What you could do is, instead of having the full amount of the order in the pay amount box, let's say she wants to put $200 on her first credit card. So you replace the $398.47 with $200, and then if all the other information has been filled out, you click process. After you click process, the transaction was approved box will appear. You close that, and it takes you back to this review and payment screen. The edit button would disappear if we'd made a partial payment, and what would be in the balance column would be 198.47. You click the payment button again. It will be 198.47 here, and then you'd enter the second credit card information. Click process again. It would come back here saying that transaction's been approved. You close the box. It takes you back to the review and payment screen, but now the edit box has disappeared and the payment box has disappeared. And basically you just keep repeating that for as many customer orders as you've got. Any questions before we go to the hostess order?
What about the 75% off coupons that were still sitting there at the top that you pointed out right before we went to this screen to pay? How do we use those?
Well, you're going to use those when we get to the hostess order in a second.
Okay, perfect.
Remember, right now we're doing the customer orders.
Okay, so after you get through that, Mike, there's several questions people have asked in the chat area, so I figured once you get through all the screens, then we can go back to the questions in the chat area and answer those, and then if anybody else has more questions after that, we could answer from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
So we're ready to go to the hostess order. So now you can see Alcina's got no more edit box, no more make payment box. We can either add another customer order, but this was a show with just one order. So now we click proceed to hostess order. And on the guide you can see I put in another reminder about what you do if it's a starter party. If this had been a starter party, the add another customer order button would be there. There wouldn't be a proceed to hostess order button. But instead there will be a close the show button. So this isn't a starter party. So we click on proceed to hostess order. We get a warning from the system telling us that this is going to finalize everything. And beware if we can still click cancel, but we're going to click OK. So now we're going to the hostess order. Same screen as we saw with the customer order, except because this is a hostess, she's referred to as the customer because she is the customer on this hostess order. And who's paying for it? We have a couple of options. Bill to self will be the consultant who's paying for it. Bill to customer means the hostess is paying for it. The shipping options would be ship to customer, which is the hostess, ship to self, or ship to host. So if you leave it as ship to customer, it will go to the host. We click continue, and we're back to the same order entry screen we saw earlier. Now, this is the next piece of advice. I think is probably the most important piece of advice in this whole hour, because there's no question entering the hostess order is the most difficult, just because it's got more steps than the customer order, and there's a number of different things going on. So I think if you do the hostess order in the sequence that I recommend, you will find it easier to see what is actually happening with the hostess order, that what is happening corresponds to maybe what you wrote down on paper for the hostess, as opposed to kind of doing things in a random order. So what's the right way, in my mind, to enter a hostess order? You can see from the screen she's got $125.40 of hostess credit. So the first thing we want to do is spend the hostess credit. And we do that by entering products at retail price. So in this particular case, let me show you what I entered for the hostess to use her $125 of hostess credit. I first entered her free gift, and then she had selected a Katie necklace and a Chanel earrings. as what she wanted to spend for a hostess creditor. So she's actually ordered $128. So this little box here is the important one. She's ordered $128. She's got $125.40 of hostess credit. So she's actually $2.60 over. What the system does in calculating the total, it automatically gives the hostess a 50% discount on any overage. So in this particular case, she's $2.60 over. The system gives her 50% discount, so that's $1.30. So the hostess's new total is now $7.99 shipping and handling, $1.30 overage, and 56 cents tax, for a total of $9.85. So start out entering the hostess retail price selections that she's buying with a hostess credit. Next, you enter a hostess half-price selections. Remember, every hostess is entitled, if she chooses, to purchase any 2 items at half price. So they will be the next products that get entered. I think in this particular order, the hostess only chose to use one of her half-price selections, and that was the Carmel stainless steel hematite bracelet. So that was $39. The hostess is going to get that at half price, so that's $19.50, sorry. So the new total has gone from $9.85 to $30.52. So she's paying some tax on the $19.50, and that's why the new total. So once again, if you're tracking along, you can see how the total of $30.52 is arrived at. So this hostess only wanted to select one half-price item. So the final thing is enter the 75% off items. And if you remember, scroll back up, she's got 2 things that she can select. So what we do is click on the 75% off button. And when we do that, the screen pops up, and you've got a choice. You can scroll down to find the product. So let's say she wanted a shield. It's pretty easy. You just put a 1 in this box, click add, and one of our 75% off items is now added to the order. Let's say you can't see what you want. You can enter the product number here, and if you just tab over into this box or this box, then that product will automatically appear at the correct price. You enter a quantity, and you click add, and now that product will be added to the order. As you can see, I chose the Jadique blue jade bracelet. I actually chose 2 of them as my 75% off items. Let's say I'd only chose 1. I click the 75% off button again and go through the same process to add the second item. I actually cheated when I did this. I entered 3 of the Jadique bracelets. And when I did that, the system comes back and says, no, you can't do that. The quantity entered for this item exceeds the limit allowed for this order, which is 2. So you can't enter any more 75% off items than the hostess has earned. So I've entered the 2 Jadique bracelets. I think they're $8.75 each, so it's $17.50. The new total of the order is $49.07. If you remember, we were at $30.52. So we've gone up $17.50 plus obviously the tax has increased. So really this hostess order is pretty much complete except for the payment. At any time, let's say you realize that you made a mistake. This is more likely to happen on a customer that she actually wanted to order 2 Chanel earrings. You can just go into this box, change the 1 to a 2, and then click Update Cart, and the 1 will change to a 2. But let's assume this hostess order is correct. So we click on, at the bottom, I mean, I've got it covered over with text. At the bottom of the screen, there's a next or it's probably a next button. When you click that, it's going to take you to the review and payment screen. You'll see now, because we've entered the hostess order, there aren't any buttons visible up here. Because really, the only thing we can do now is either edit the hostess order or pay for the hostess order. But let's assume it's correct. So we click on the payment button, and the same payment boxes appear that we saw with the customer. You make the appropriate payment, and then after you click process and then close the payment approved screen, you're now back to this review and payment screen, and the hostess order is complete and the show is closed.
Awesome. Okay, so I wanted to go back up here. I know there was a couple of questions that people had. I know Cindy had asked, what does Takara do with the birthday info, but I think that got answered because you pointed out the box where you could add the birthday and all that when you were doing the hostess. So I think we're okay there.
Well, just one thing on that.
Mm-hmm.
We're okay, except you really can't use that information yet. That's going to be one of the system enhancements that's coming up hopefully in the near future. We pay for it. It's just waiting in the queue for our software vendor for them to schedule it into their development schedule. But this new feature that I'm talking about is going to be a greatly expanded capability to work with the customer information that's in the system. Right now, you technically can edit by putting an existing customer in a new party, so you could use that method if you wanted to change an email address. But it's obviously very cumbersome, very slow. With the new system, you'll be able to click on a customer, and a whole customer setup screen will appear, and you will be able to edit directly customer information. And when you click Save, that would now update your database of customer information for that person. The other thing that will be part of that is, right now you can export customer information, but it's really a little bit of a crazy selection of data that you could export. I mean, let's say you've got businesses in a couple of major cities, and what you want to do is alert all of your customers in Dallas that you're going to be attending some event that's happening there. Well, there's no way for you to really export that information right now because you can't export by address.
Okay, so you'd have to then you'd have to export your whole customer base and email everybody basically, unless you put it
pretty much.
Yeah, unless you put it into like your own CRM that possibly lets you do that. But down the road, we're going to have the ability to do that, to email the ones in certain areas.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Let's look at some of these others. When is this new system coming, do you think? We have an idea of approximate?
No, I don't. I mean, it's in their list. As I say, it's been paid for. And basically, we have to just wait for them to get around to it, assign developers to spec it all out. Once we sign off on the specs, then it gets put into their development schedule, the testing, and it's slow as molasses.
Can we ask them to give us an approximate time, like beginning of the new year, spring, or do they not even do that?
They won't even do that. I would desperately hope that before the end of the year we'll see it.
Okay. All right, let me go. I'm going to scroll back up here a little bit. I know people are adding different questions. So I know Cindy had asked if we say no to the starter show at the beginning, the hostess can change her mind later, and I think we answered that yes. We can go back in and change it to a yes. Let's see. I'm looking at these other questions. I know Carrie Ann said she had another question. Carrie Ann, if you're still on and you can mute or unmute yourself, come in and ask another question, because I know you were asking about the hostess items, but you said you had another question on it too.
Yeah, I just told Carrie Ann. Sorry, Carrie.
Go ahead, Carrie Ann.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt anyone. I wanted to make sure I was listening and understanding too. So from my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, so I go in, I add a new hostess, okay? Now, you were saying something about the starter party box, and you want to keep it yes or no, and you know, do it as no, and you can change it as you go. But on mine, when I do a hostess and I create that hostess party, it's not telling me that. It's saying, do you want to override the host, something. But I figured out if I
override hostess credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was keeping it at yes, I think it was, and nothing was showing up. It wasn't even showing up their hostess credits as far as 75% off goes. So I went back in, I changed it to no, and then what was happening, and this is where I might be a little bit confused, on each of my hostesses parties, they automatically have 2 75% off items. Is that supposed to happen?
No, I don't think so, but boy, it sounds like a neat feature.
I mean, it says hostess promotions, that person automatically has 2. The party hasn't even happened yet. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. No, I know they only get 1 for booking the party, and then, like, if they do more things, it should add. Is it automatically adding, like, return your invite list to me? Is it automatically doing it for those?
I don't know. No, I think you're talking about you were doing this using the party manager module.
Yes. Is there a different way? Am I going in the wrong way?
No, there's 2 ways you can start a party, set up a party. One is using the party manager module, which is, you know, brand new and something, you know, we're kind of testing on live right now. What I just showed you was, if you like, the old way, and probably most of the time the way you'd still do it, which is by going into the show ordering module, you know, the orders, select show ordering, and setting up the hostess there and setting up the party there. What I'm going to do tomorrow is test what happens if I set up shows using the party manager module. Because
okay.
maybe something weird.
Maybe there was a glitch in the system when she did that, and so you can check that tomorrow, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, look, the good news is if it was a glitch, it was a glitch in favor.
Yeah, exactly. It was adding something, not taking it away, so that's good. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so should I go this old way, or should I just stick with what I've been doing through Party Manager? If are we going to convert to this way under Party Manager?
No, there'll always be the two ways.
Okay.
And hopefully, if it's working correctly, it won't make any difference which way you do it. I mean, obviously, if you let's say you went to a party tonight and you had 4 bookings, so you wanted to set up 4 future hostess. Maybe the Party Manager module is a little quicker to do that. I'd need to test that. Well, you could still set it up the old way as well. So I do need to test the Party Manager module a little bit more to see what's going on there.
So basically then what I think we would suggest, Carrie Ann, is go in and set it up under the regular system, not the Party Manager, and see if it sets up normal in there. And then Mike can check on the Party Manager to see if there's a glitch in there, if that helps.
Okay, yeah. I can search Party through the old way. Yeah. And it automatically brings it over from Party Manager. That's what it looks like. So I'm just like wondering now, did I do something wrong?
No, I think it sounds like there's a glitch. So maybe just hold tight with that. Let Mike check it tomorrow. And then, Mike, can we make a note to reach out to Carrie Ann to see how we go about unglitching her system, basically?
Yeah. One thing for everybody, let's say by mistake you left it as a starter party, yes, and you get to the end and you've closed the party and you realize, I can't enter a hostess order. You need to understand there's nothing you guys can do about that. The only way to fix that would be by calling customer service and getting their help. Basically, what they would have to do is, manually in our system enter that hostess order. They would manually calculate the hostess credits that the hostess was entitled to, and kind of basically enter all of that and manually and create the hostess order. So there's nothing if you made that mistake, you've accidentally closed the party without the hostess entering an order, the only people that can fix it are us, and someone in customer service will help you do that.
Okay,
the
perfect.
other thing that can happen, let's say a host is going for a certain party amount. She wants it to be a $1,000 party because she wants the 30% or whatever hostess credit. And she's got to $970, so she decides she's going to enter a retail order for herself of $30 to get the party up to $1,000. Something you have to be really careful is you need to set the hostess up as a guest. So create a new customer profile, using the hostess information. Do not use the hostess information that's in the system, because if you do that, the system thinks you're trying to enter the hostess order. So
Okay.
set up a separate customer, use the hostess name and address and all that, enter that $30 to get her party up, pay for it, and she'll now have a $1,000 party, and she can still enter a hostess order.
Okay, that sounds perfect. So let's go on to the next question, because I know we've got quite a few here. So Joan says, I need help understanding where the party reference number shows up and when and where. Hold on. Let's see. My thing gets, as everybody starts putting stuff in, my thing rolls up. And when and where does the guest use it when they come in to use it? So when they set up the party, where does the party reference number show, and how do they get it so that that hostess can pop it out to other people?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's a box on the system. I've never known why the box was there, or why someone would use it. I don't know where it shows up elsewhere in the system. So honestly, my suggestion is don't worry about putting anything in that box when you're setting up the hostess, because the system is going to create a reference number for the show, and that's all you need.
Okay, so where does that, when that reference number shows up, is it just in the party manager at that point where it says name, the hostess, and the date, and then there's a reference number, and they use that number to give out to people?
Yeah, because that should be the show number that the system is creating.
Okay, and then the other question is then, let's say the hostess now is going to, let's say Joan's having a party, or the hostess is Joan's client, and then the hostess gives out the number, and people go to Joan's website to order for their hostess. They go onto her website. Where do they go to input that reference number so that their order is going to go into the right party? That's something that doesn't seem easy access.
I will get back to you tomorrow on that.
Okay, so we can do something on that so we can show where it is?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's make a note on that then. Let's see, what else? I know I'm scrolling down here. So Cindy says, so we have to set up 2 parties for each party, one for the booking bonus, one for the actual party. Yes. So if someone books a show and they're getting a 75% off coupon for booking, we're going to set up one show that's under that hostess's name so that she gets her 75% off item. You're going to order that item, and where it says, you know, who's paying, you're going to say the customer's paying, but then the ship to part, you're going to ship it to you, the hostess or the representative, because you're going to bring that 75% off item to her the night of her show. So that way she gets the 75% off, plus it kind of is a good way to get her to hold her party because she's wanting her item and she wants to get it for 75 off, and you're going to bring it that night. That way you have a better chance of her not canceling. So yes, you're going to set up one for the 75% off only. That closes out once you order it and ship it to you, and then you set up another one for your hostess for her actual party date. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see, I'm going to scroll here because we've got more. Let's see, what else? Okay, we did that one. When you add the hostess, okay, Valerie says, do you have to use digital? It's flinging up again, so bear with me, guys. I'm scrolling back. Don't put anything else in yet. Do you have to use digital invitations in order for the system to issue the guest list 75% bonus? So yeah, if they've got their guest list back to their representative, how does she add in that 75% bonus for that?
Could you repeat? I don't know.
Basically, if someone, you know, our hostess books with us, she has her date, and we tell her, Susie Q, we want to get your guest list and we want to get it by next Tuesday. If you get it to me by next Tuesday, then I'll give you a 75% off coupon to order something out of the catalog. Where do we go into the system as the representative to be able to add that in so that she gets that 75% off coupon added?
Well, when she's had her party and you're entering the hostess order, it automatically starts with one 75% off coupon.
Right.
And that is for returning the guest list.
Oh, I thought that one was for, I thought you got one for booking the show. I know you get a $75 credit.
Well, every show starts with one 75% off. So when you're doing the booking gift show, you use the 175% off coupon to order the booking. Now it's the regular show. Once again, this starts with one hostess 75% off coupon. And that, in effect, is the coupon that the hostess earned by returning the guest list. But it's, of all of the 75% offs, it's the one that we can't check. So we assume every hostess returns the guest list. list.
Okay, so that very first one is basically a freebie. We're just assuming she's going to get us that guest list.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to scroll down here again, see what else we've got. We've got quite a few.
While you're doing that, Valerie also made the point that you can't add a free gift to the booking bonus order. The hostess only gets the free gift once she has the regular show.
Okay. She gets her free bracelet when we're closing her out and we're adding in her free jewelry and her 75% off, just like you showed us.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it looks like Cindy has experience with a guest order online where they can specify the hostess pay.
Okay. And then I know Joanne had asked about the 75% off when they book, and so hopefully, Joanne, that got answered for you. You first put it into the system as a single thing that's going to get shipped to you, and then we open up another order for the actual party. Let's see what else. I've got some people asking different things. It looks like, does anybody, I'm scrolling through and it looks like we've gotten a lot answered on here already. Does anybody else have a question that we haven't asked or answered yet?
I do.
Okay, go ahead. Who's this?
This is Wendy Road from Horsham, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello. I just joined, so this may be something everyone else knows, and if so, I apologize. But when Michael was talking about the entering process, and he said the hostess chooses to only use one of her 2 half-price items, what happens to that other 50% off credit? Can she bank it, or can they bank it for another time?
No, it's just as if, let's say the hostess, in this particular case, she had $125 credit, but she only chose product worth $120. So she kind of got $5 not used. Once the party gets closed, that $5 disappears. Any unused 75% off or 50% off, once the party is closed, it disappears. And don't get carried on.
All right, thank you.
Mike, a question is, the girls want to know, can they add a thank you message to the invoice that gets sent out because we have that note box when we're setting everything up?
That's exactly where to put it.
So they can put a thank you note in there to your hostess.
Where does it show up?
It shows up the bottom left of the hostess invoice.
So is this on the page that's after you've put in all the hostess free jewelry items and her 50% off? Is that the screen that is? And then the note at the bottom is where you can say, thank you, it was great to have you, or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you enter the text in the note box, and then it actually appears on the bottom left of the actual invoice that the customer or the host has sent.
And then Angela Jo says the message will also appear on their email confirmation, if that was the same thing, which I'm thinking it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another great reason to, when you're setting up a customer or hostess, wherever possible, to enter that customer or hostess's email address, because every once in a while someone can make an error entering products in an order, and when you close that order out, immediately that customer, let's say we're talking about a customer, that customer gets an email generated by the system showing her the billing address, the shipping address, products ordered, the amount paid. You put a note in, that will be there. Well, let's say by mistake you ordered the wrong free gift. The customer gets the email. They can immediately alert you or Takara, oh, that's the wrong free gift. Please change it, to the Mystic Black from the white. and she'll avoid the whole hassle of having to go through an exchange.
Okay, perfect. All right, does anybody else have any questions that we didn't get answered for you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is Valerie from Norristown in Jones Tucara Treasures. Thanks,
Hi there.
everybody. Hi, I just had a quick question. Every time I go somewhere, I hand out catalogs, and I got a random email saying, your order has shipped to somebody who I did not know, who thankfully got my catalog and placed an order. Is there a way for us to get an alert when somebody places an order that we know?
Mike, do they not receive an email when an order is placed on their site?
Well, they do. Every once in a while, a customer forgets your replicated website address. So they just shop to Caraplus. And what we do is, when we get those orders come in that have not been assigned to a consultant, we search the system using email address, phone, whatever information we have, to try to match that order, that guest, customer, to the consultant who originally brought her into the business. I'd say, 9 times out of 10 we are able to do that. I mean, we do get some customers that find out about us from Facebook or wherever, and then just shop on the website. Obviously, in those cases, we can assign their orders to a consultant. So it sounds to me like in this case, this was one of your customers that did shop your website, or didn't shop your website, shop the regular Takara corporate site, but then we were able to match her up and get her that order assigned to you, in which case you wouldn't get an email notification that one of your customers had placed an order. Normally,
okay.
Normally you would. Right. Okay, perfect.
Well, I mean, it was good because at least I got the notification that her order had shipped, so I could figure out who she was. And I'm sorry to take up time, just real brief. I'm looking at the hosted coupons, and it says only 1 coupon per show. That does not limit 75% off to $75 free, the guest bonus, etc. It's just one of each. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the 75% off coupon refers to how many you get for a certain number of bookings. It's 1 with 1 or 2 bookings, 2
Gotcha.
75% off.
For 3 or more.
You get another 75% off with 10 or more guest orders.
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of each type.
Super.
Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you guys so much. This has been awesome.
You're welcome. Anybody else have a question? So I think what we'll do is, and Mike, you and I can talk about this, but I'm thinking when we do another call next Monday for your systems walkthroughs, maybe we can walk everybody through exchanges, returns, and repairs. That's something that Angela, Joe, and I were having a nice conversation about today, and she was recommending that we do something like that, which I think would be perfect because that would really help, the reps across the country understand how to handle those exchange returns or repairs. Does that sound like a good topic?
Well, we've got Wednesdays, don't forget, for the same, that could be used for exactly that.
Okay, so on Wednesday, for our Wednesday call, are you going to do a webinar again, or was that just going to be question and answer?
I think we'll do a webinar, and I'll be logged into a live system, so that if things come up there, I can take it. Because one of the things I would like to do on Wednesday is show you how to, because I know you're all starting to earn lots of jewelry coupons, so I'd like to show you how you could go enter a consultant order and redeem a consultant coupon. So I think that will be good. We certainly could cover exchanges. I don't get a lot of questions about commissions, how that works when we pay out. So I think in the hour on Wednesday we'll be able to cover a lot of ground.
Right. And, you know, Angela Jo was saying, and she just reminded me, we were talking about actually putting together just a one sheet, summary basically that maybe we could have in the back office that just, shows us how to handle the exchanges, the returns, and the repairs. So if there's just a summary sheet that people can download, okay, this is what I do. I call in, this is how I handle it. Maybe we can have a sheet like that written up and then just pop it into the back office for easy access for anybody. Would that work out?
Yeah, the other place to look is the FAQs, because that is certainly covered in the FAQs.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to do one last question. Cindy was asking, how do we send customized invitations to a party? Should we use that as another topic on how to send invitations for a party through the system on another night when you can do a full webinar on that? What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to add party invites to my list for Wednesday.
Okay, perfect. So he's going to go over that. Cindy, if you're still on, he's going to go over that on Wednesday. We're going to do a call Wednesday night, same time, same call-in information, and we'll cover that as well as a consultant using your coupons. So hopefully those two topics will be great for you guys. Okay? And we will definitely record it, yes. All right, anything else? Yep. Anybody have any other questions? Mike, anything last you want to say?
No, look, I get a lot of pleasure. It's a lot of fun doing these webinars or these trainings. I think we all have exactly the same goal. We want the Takara business, your business, to be as successful as possible, as easy to run as possible. So, anything we can do in the home office, just let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike. This has been a great help. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call, and we will talk to you again on Wednesday night for those other topics, and we look forward to helping you guys run everything really smoothly. Have a great evening.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.